It's Saturday morning and I should do a video, and I'm not sure what I should do in this video. I was thinking that maybe we should continue some of the things that were cut out of the last video, because this could become the never-ending video. Some stories. First, the story about the street kids. There's a lot of comments, and I see a lot of people understand street kids. They understand their hopelessness, their eyes look like tunnels of death. There's so little hope, so little positive about them. I remember one of the kids in Seattle that he, along with 3 of his friends, had come up with some drug. One of the kids died. Another was in a coma. And the priest called me and said, "Do you want to run with me up to the hospital? We're going to pick up..." I can't remember the kid's name, but he was a street kid. And I said, "Yeah, I'll go with you." I'll never forget some insight into the hopelessness of working with those kids. The priest said to me as we walked up the steps, "You know, this drug thing, one's died here. We've got this one left. Let's make this count, because if there was ever a time we're going to get through to this boy, it is now." So we're walking out of the hospital with the kid. Isn't it interesting how they wheel him out? They wheel him out in a wheelchair, and then, but they're free. Now they can walk as soon as they get out of the hospital. But we're walking down the stairs in the front of the hospital, and the kid turns to me and says, "Jerry, you got to help me score. I got to have something to get through this." He just lost a friend because of drugs, and his thinking is, "You got to help me score some more drugs." How hopeless is that? Okay, that's a street kid story. One of the things that I've done here in retirement, because if I sit around the house, something terrible could happen if I don't intermingle with people, become a recluse. What the hell's wrong with being a recluse, by the way? That's the driving of a school bus. That's in the public schools. There's been some interesting stories. I was thinking today, it's a cloudy day. One of my favorite stories involved a kid who, by the way, is on YouTube here. He may recall the story. But the town where I'm driving the bus, one day there was a storm. One of those storm cells moved in. The clouds became darker and darker and started to move closer and closer to the ground, and the bus I was driving, we're coming down a hill, and I let 3 middle school kids off of the bus, and they walk down this driveway, and all of a sudden there is a bolt of lightning, and it strikes the ground about 5 feet from where these kids are standing. Actually, they weren't standing, they were walking. And when it hit, all 3 of these kids went flat on the ground. My heart is thump, 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 thump. I don't know what to do. State law says you can't leave the school bus, but now I have 3 kids outside. I mean, they're dead maybe, I don't know. All of a sudden, the kids move. They get up, and they run straight back to the bus. The rest of the kids in the bus have now moved up to the front. They're all up in the front with me. This particular kid looks at me, His eyes are wide open. And he goes, "Jerry, that wasn't the dangerous kind of lightning, was it?" The dangerous kind. I don't know. I wouldn't stand by it. And you get paid for that. It's a good job, by the way. Those of you who are looking for meaningful employment. I always say, if you're looking for meaningful employment, help the community. That was always my philosophy. Help the community and get paid for it. That's the best way to do it. Anyway, this has been a rather disjointed video. Probably you will never see it, if you will excuse me.
Initiating shutdown sequence.